guys, welcome back. Mystery of Life tutorials. We are delving into part 2 of the basic intro to music theory. In this video we're going to be building major and minor scales based off of any note on the keyboard. If you're unsure of the notes on the keyboard, please go back and watch part 1 of this 3-part series to learn the names of each note. If you've already done that, then yeah, we're going to get straight into it. I'm going to go over to the keyboard and let's start building some scales. Thank you. Right, here we are back at the keyboard, and we are going to look at building scales. Okay, so we're going to build 2 scales, and we're going to be able to build them off of any starting position on the keyboard after this tutorial. Okay, so with the 2 scales we're going to try to build is a major scale and a minor scale. Okay, so you may have heard of these before. Major scale sounds happy, minor scale sounds sad. Okay, and when you're starting off in music, these are going to be the 2 scales that you're going to want to approach first in your learning. Okay, so yeah, we're going to show you how to build them off of any note. Okay, I'll start off with the C note just to make things easy, and then I'll explain then how we can sort of use this formula to start from any note. Okay, so I'm going to start with the major scale, and we're going to build it off of C. Okay, so C becomes our root note. So just to go over the formula we're going to use, okay, we're going to use what's called a full tone semitone formula. And what I mean by that is we're going to be jumping across notes at different intervals. One's going to be a full tone, which is actually 2 steps. So from a C, a full tone is going to go 1, 2. So a full tone from a C is a D. Yeah. Then you've got a semitone step, which is just half of that, which is just 1 increment up in the keyboard. So from the C, a semitone up is going to go to the C sharp. Okay. So just to go over that again quickly, you've got a full tone. I'll start from this D sharp this time. So a full tone up from a D sharp is going to be 2 incremental steps up the keyboard. So we got D sharp, then we got E, then we got F. Okay, so a full tone up from a D sharp is F. Yeah, full tone equals 2, semitone equals 1. Let's just go a semitone up from this D sharp. Yeah, it just takes us up 1 because it's a semitone, not a full tone. So it takes us there. Okay, so that's what you need to know in order to be able to follow along with these formulas. And yeah, we're going to get straight into the major scale. Right, so if you need to note this down, then make sure you do put it in your own notes. Alternatively, it's going to be up on the side of the screen. But yeah, let's build a C major scale starting off the C. So the formula for the major scale goes, it goes R, which stands for root note, which is our C. Yeah. The full formula goes root, tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. Okay, and how we play that out is we start on the C, which is the root note. Yeah, and then we go tone, and that's full tone, not semitone. So tone is equal to 2 steps. So 2 up from that, 1, 2 to the D. Yeah, then we have another full tone jump. So another 1, 2 to the E. So these are the first 3 notes. Then we have a semitone jump. So if you look, there's no sharp. So 1 incremental step up just takes us over to this F. Then we have a full tone, 1, 2. Then another full tone, 1, 2. Then another full tone, 1, 2. And then 1 final semitone on the end, which takes us back to our C. Okay, so that major scale sounds like this. Yeah, and if you notice, it's all of the white notes. That's because all of the white notes are, they form up the C major scale. Okay, there are no sharps and flats in a C major scale. There are sharps and flats, however, in other scales. So let's just try and build that major scale starting on this D sharp, for example. Actually, we'll start on the C sharp because you don't have much room. So we start on the C sharp. So we're building the same major scale, but our root note is different. Okay. So the root note is the C sharp. We're going to go up a full tone. So that's 1, 2. Another full tone. 1, 2. A semitone. So far we've got So you notice how we're getting some of the sharps in now. It just depends on where your root note is, but we use the same formula: root, tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. Okay, so let's just carry it on. So we've got root, tone, tone, semitone, tone, 1, 2, tone, 1, 2, tone, 1, 2, semitone. There. So we get it. Okay, so it's still a major scale, but it's actually a C sharp major scale, not a C, because our root note is different. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. Now, for a minor scale, we have a similar formula, but it's different. Instead of root, tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone, we get root, tone, semitone, tone, tone, semitone, tone, tone. Now, I know that sounds crazy to say it out loud, but when you do it and you work through it in your mind and at your keyboard, it's going to make sense to you, right, guys? So starting on the C note again, we're going to build a minor scale now. So we have our root, which is the C note. We're going to go up a full tone, which is 1, 2. Semitone, which is just 1. Full tone. Another full tone, 1, 2. Semitone, just 1. Full tone from there, 1, 2, 1, 2. And then another full tone from here, which is 1, 2. And we end up with this. Yeah, so when you find the scale and when you figure out the notes, practice going over it and try to just, you don't have to use the full tone, semitone all the time. That's just how you figure it out. Once you've actually got the scale, practice going up and down the scale and memorize the shape in your mind. And then when you come to actually jamming stuff in, you just remember where those notes are, and it gives you a bit more scope on, just improvise jamming and so on. But yeah, so the root, tone, semitone is just a way of determining where the scale lies on the keyboard at first. So let's try to build the minor scale off of the C sharp now. Okay, so we get root, full tone, which is 2, root, tone, semitone, tone, tone, semitone, tone, 1, 2, and then a full tone. Yeah, so that was the scale starting on the C sharp. So it's a minor scale. If we start on the C sharp, it's a C sharp minor. If we start on a C, it's a C minor. If we start on, let's say, for example, an F, and we use the minor formula, we get an F minor scale. If we start on the F and we use the major formula, we get a major scale. Okay, so that's how it works, and that is building scales, both major and minor, starting on any key. So just make a note of them formulas, guys, practice through them, and yeah, hopefully once you have a good practice on that, come back to video 3, where we're going to be talking about building chords using the notes from the scales that we just practiced. So practice 1 major, 1 minor, preferably starting off the C. Try to sort of memorize them in your mind, and then we will carry on in the next video. But hopefully that's helped you guys, and good luck with the practice.